Today we are going to talk all about the things that I think that you need to do, have lined up, ready to go at least 2 weeks before your cruise. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Like I said, today we are going to talk about the things that I think that you need to make sure that you have lined up and ready to go at least 2 weeks before your cruise. So if you're going on a cruise, one of the things that we always think of first is our packing. So make sure that you have decided what luggage you're going to take, what your carry-on is going to be, anything else like that. If you have the luxury of living close to the port that you will be embarking from, sailing from, make sure that you know how you're going to get to the port, line up a ride, whether you book a car service to do that, however you do it. Make sure that everything is lined up for that. In addition, with your packing, make sure that you know what clothing you're going to take with you, that you have everything you need. And part of the reason that I say 2 weeks for all of this is it's enough time to acquire whatever you need or to iron out any problems with anything. So when it comes to clothing, I always say, if you haven't worn the clothing that you're going to take with you, if you've got an outfit in there and you've not worn it lately, try it on. Because sometimes things don't fit quite the same. Sometimes I don't like something as much as I thought. But anyway, because you don't want to get on your cruise and find out something you brought and thought you were going to wear, you don't want to wear. So I would say do that, and then make sure, no matter where you go in the world, and this will probably make some of you smile, I always take a jacket and it has to have a hood on it, because you never know if it's going to rain a lot somewhere. You can go somewhere that rain is not even forecast and that they generally don't get any rain, but sometimes it will rain and you want to be ready. So make sure that you have all of the little things like that packed in your suitcase. I also don't go anywhere without an umbrella. So just make your list and double check it. Make sure that you've got everything that you need. Another quick thing that I want you to be thinking about is all of your documents for your cruise. When you go on a cruise, it's really important that you have everything that you need to be able to board the ship and to access any information about your cruise that you would like to access while you are on board. I know that we have people here who still really enjoy putting together their file for their cruise or their binder, printing out everything that has to do with it, all their excursion information, everything, and they take that with them. Clear over to we have people that just take their phone. So no matter where you fall in that range, make sure that you have access to all of your documents that you might need while you're on a cruise. When you go on a cruise, I think it's important to take with you a copy of your booking confirmation and a copy, especially like your travel summary. And all of the cruise lines have kind of their own little version of that you can put together. On Princess, they just call it the travel summary, and it lists everything that you need while you're on board. It'll list all the excursions you're signed up for. It lists the transfer information. If you've signed up for a transfer, it shows what you've paid for. It comes in really handy if there's a question about anything while you're on your cruise. Okay, so I always make sure that we've got a copy of that with us. And then also, when you're thinking of all your documents that you need to have to board the ship and go on the trip, you've probably seen me if you've been here for a while. I have our handy dandy little organizer thing here, and in here I've got our global entry cards, I've got our passports, I have a copy of our immunization records, just all of the things that you never know, the documents that you might need somewhere. So I always just keep these things together when we're at home, and then it goes with me in my carry-on bag. So then, and I really like the clear side, because then I can see that the passports are there, I can see our global entry cards are here. It just makes it really handy to be able to see that you've got everything. And when I used to have the medallions shipped to our home, I would slide them in here when I received them, so that then everything was all together, and then you've got your handy dandy, like this is Gordon's little wristband thing that he likes to put the medallion in when we're on a cruise. And so just make sure that you've got all the things like that lined up as well 2 weeks out, so that you have time to take care of any problems. And just a quick reminder, with your passport, it needs to be good for 6 months after you get home. So that's a really important distinction. So watch your passport. If you need a passport renewed, people are saying it's only taking a couple of weeks right now. We're not quite to the window of time when it gets delayed, because it's heavy travel time. This is still a good time of year to get your passport renewed. Another thing, make sure you know what's going on with all of your excursions. Double check, make sure that all the excursions that you think you have booked, you still have booked. Every once in a while, and this has happened to us as well, we'll just be going along and looking and realize that one of our excursions has been canceled. And especially that has happened with Princess, not quite as much with third-party vendors in our experience. So make sure that you still have everything booked that you think you have booked so that you've got time to choose something else if something's been canceled. Make sure that you also have that information with you if you have booked with a third-party vendor so that you know where to go to meet up to go on the excursion that you're going to go on. Alrighty, because sometimes they come right to the ship to get you, and sometimes you have to walk to another meeting point. So make sure that you've got that. It's also a really good thing to make sure that you've got any boarding pass information for whatever cruise line you're going on. On Princess, and really on the others now, they do those electronic boarding passes. On Princess, they say that 11 days out, you will have in your app show up a boarding pass. And Princess no longer assigns times. You know, they used to say like your boarding time is 11 to 11:30, whatever. They don't do that. They just literally give an embarkation window. So they say they'll start at like, usually it's around 10 or 11, and then they'll have an ending time of when you need to be on board if you want to go on that cruise, and you can come anywhere during that window of time that you would like to. So that's when you'll find that out. I would also confirm my flights, make sure that everything, whether you booked them with Princess Easy Air or if you booked them on your own, that there have been no flight changes that you're not aware of. And a quick note, if you do book with Princess Easy Air, for example, say you book flights with an American or Delta, whoever it is, you can go in on the app and put in the confirmation number and access your flights there. That way you can see everything, do your boarding pass and everything that goes with it. You don't do the boarding pass until I think it's within 24 hours, but make sure that everything is set up the way that you think it is. Another thing that's important to remember are your luggage tags. If you have not been on a cruise yet, whenever you go on a cruise, no matter what cruise line it is, you print out your luggage tags, and then as you're heading to the port, you attach them to your suitcase and any luggage that you're going to turn in, because then they will be able to deliver the luggage from there where you turn it in, right when you get to the ship there, to your stateroom. And so that's important. Don't do it before you get on the airplane because it'll end up coming off. So just do it right before you get there. And on Princess, it is 75 days out that you have access to print your luggage tag. So I think that's a really important thing to make sure that you don't miss. If you happen to miss it, ask when you get to the port and they will help you do that. All right, you don't have to worry about that. Finally, the other things that came to my mind here are just the simple things we need to make sure we don't forget when we're leaving home for a little while. If you're only going for a week, that's a little bit shorter amount of time, but especially if you're going longer, you need to make sure everything's taken care of. So don't forget to check your bills, make sure that everything is paid that needs to be paid before you go. All the simple things like bringing in the mail and taking out the trash. Who's going to do that? Who's going to mow your yard so that it looks like you're at home? We have amazing kids that live in our neighborhood that do our yard for us, and it works good for them because we pay them, and it works good for us because they do such a nice job. But the last thing that I wanted to make sure is 2 weeks out, look at all the crucial things like medicine that you need to take, any prescriptions. Make sure that you have enough so that the day before you leave town, you don't realize that you need some more and the doctor's not in that day to authorize a refill, all of that kind of thing. So make sure that you have got plenty to last through the cruise. And I always take extra with us just in case we are unexpectedly delayed somewhere. So if you have any other suggestions, I would love to hear them. Put them in the comments because that helps all of us. I appreciate you being here with me, and I will see you here again tomorrow. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.